Let's bring in Jim Hanson, who's the chief editor for the Middle East Forum. Thank you for joining us this morning. So what's your reaction to what we've seen over the last 12 hours?
I think it's a perfect example of the difference between the two countries. Iran is purposely targeting civilian neighborhoods, and Israel is purposely targeting military facilities and military leaders, and actually issuing warnings to people who live near military targets that they might want to get out of the range of the weaponry coming their way. So you're seeing devastation in some of these Israeli neighborhoods purposely because instead of hitting Israeli military targets, which are going to be more heavily defended by all of the air defense, they're hitting places where there are going to be fewer air defense capabilities and trying to kill civilians. That is why we are where we are today. Iran is a terror state.
Jim, I want to take a 30,000-foot view here and look at both of these countries. You're a former weapons guy yourself. If in some miracle, and I say that because I think I understand the answer to this question, but if this turns into a conflict that is resolved simply and solely by the firepower and militaries of each country, Iran and Israel, where do you see that ending? Is Israel's military fully capable of taking out the regime's military? There's a lot of ambiguity as to what Iran does or doesn't have, what has been taken out already. I mean, we can even say Israel doesn't say whether or not it has nukes. That's kind of a different conversation. But if we just look at the conventional armies of each, where does it stand if it stays contained to those two?
This is not a fair fight. Israel is a modern military power, and Iran is an asymmetric military power and terrorist power. So we don't know what they've got left, Iran, as far as ballistic missiles and the rest of it. I think they're shooting what they have, but they don't have the industrial capability to ramp that up and create more. So whatever they've got is what they have. Israel has a huge advantage because they can be resupplied by us. So they're in the situation where who can beat who in this fair fight, it's not, and Israel will win that. In the course of that, though, the closer Iran gets to exhausting their ability to fight conventionally, they will go to those terrorist capabilities. And one thing to think about is the decapitation strikes of the heads of the IRGC and other military leaders makes it more difficult for Iran to activate whatever sleeper cells and capabilities they have around the region, because those are compartmentalized to stop people from compromising them. So it's harder if you've killed the people who know where their bad weapons are and bad guys are to have someone else pick up the pieces of that.
All right. Well, Jim, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We really appreciate your insight into this matter.
Good to be with you.